Oh, you take a lot. I think one more year. Sorry. Once again, and think about
You guys have.
Bring it back in.
You have.
Yeah, I have like a much right. Right. My daughter to carry about it. Having one. Is it? No, I'm. It doesn't. It doesn't go away. It's like a. I'm not in. Not about first.
She does not have one over there.
That's right there. Like, look, you know, on, oh, no. I never just.
Reed, if you're over there, come to the front. Maybe I'm going here. Yeah, I think
Alright, good morning, everybody. It's 11:03. Starting here, start with the pledge of allegiance. Now, start up here, right? Alright, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of and the agenda on schedule for today, our special guest is Lindsay. You guys were here last year, if I remember, she was, what was that, last time? Yeah. About this time last year. Did you bring a gift? Oh, free night, $200. We always got our giveaway, so we got, a nice Yeti cooler. Big old fella, perfect for the summer. Got the playbook. newest addition. And then we found this nice little French press guy here. I didn't even know yet he made that, but. Is that gonna be a high end? You're not gonna get it on yourself. Some of these, you gotta throw your business cards in the bucket. Melinda's holding that down to make sure that you got yours in there. And let's go around with gratitude. We start this every month. Like to hear, what are some of the wins that you guys had in the last 30 days since we met? Here's these note taking stuff. Yes, go ahead.
I had a property from hell, lovely property, but we went through we had three buyers in total. Two of them backed out, one week before settlement, one week into the agreement, and then it finally settled. I've had this guy since we signed a contract in like the summertime last year. And it's been listed for months, and unique property over in Murfreesburg, but it finally settled last week, so.
Very good.
Grateful for that.
Congratulations. Awesome. What else? What we got? Yes, Adrian.
Shout out to Carter, because he's always involved in stuff. He's always looking to help out. He helped me with an open house a couple weeks ago, and I appreciate your effort. So thank you.
Carter.
Yep, Carter. Yeah, Carter did one for me just Sunday. Unfortunately, I think he just sat for 2 hours. A little bit of a stale listing, but appreciate you always stepping up to do some open houses. Did you have something?
Yes, I just want to shout out to my boy Dave right here. Bad car situation right now. Help me out. Let me use his car for the time being to get here. So
It's nice when you have a buddy that has multiple vehicles.
Yeah.
Just hit them up. I'll give a little shout out to all you guys that were able to attend Red Day. Red Day is a special day to Keller Williams. It's part of our culture. The time to give back to the community that gives back to us. So, we had phenomenal weather. I was a little worried that they were calling for some rain. It ended up being perfect. And thank you guys for making another successful Red Day. Yes, Amanda.
In addition to that, I want to say thank you to also Belinda, because when we were at Red Day, we did life path, and they had said how like when they're full, they go through 150 rolls of toilet paper a day, and I'm like, that is crazy. So I was like, no wonder she is always asking for toilet paper. So I think that's great. Yeah, and I just appreciate, a company that makes that important.
That's one of our things where we have some down there that, and then I guess you got what, $150 last month? Just from Venmo? So you don't be afraid to send her some money, but you just, you recognize it firsthand how much the need is, and
It's a lot. That's a lot
yeah,
today.
that is a lot. That's a lot.
So, they said to me, they called me and said, Belinda, whatever you're doing down there, it's working, because now we're getting people calling for extra days.
Mhm.
I'm like, yay.
Yeah, volunteer is very important. I agree. So I'm grateful for that.
Timmy.
I started finding myself thinking negative. Boy, you're not busy. What's going on here? And I thought, reminded myself, now we got to think positive. I'm going to start getting busy. Last night I got a phone call for a listing.
Awesome. Mindset. We talk about that a lot. You don't realize how important it is until you're in a scenario that you find yourself down or negative. This is a birthday go away here. Let's say happy birthday. All right, any more? I love the, yes, Will.
I to express some gratitude for Nicole. I've had these 2 deals that were delayed and delayed and delayed, and they both closed when I happened to be at my condo in Florida. So Nicole got to sit in with my crazy customers and get them closed.
Were they calm for you?
Each settlement was over 2 hours.
Trip to. Yes, Terry.
Just a big thank you. Been here a month. The welcome is unbelievable. The leads that are coming over to me for the commercial side are greatly appreciated. We're working them all. Just thanks, everybody.
Yeah, if you guys weren't here last month, we introduced Tony and our commercial division, and you guys have been great with just And that's what I've been saying, like, we had a need for commercial, and I mean, the amount of times I got calls like, hey, we have a commercial guy, so fortunately, timing, Nick Bear has stepped up and introduced you to me, and it sounds like you're staying busy, which is perfect, that means I wasn't lying to you.
Correct.
Yes, Kate.
I took a personal trip with my daughter last week on Thursday and Friday, and one of the things that I love about real estate, you can make your own schedule, but everybody knows you go on vacation, you get busy. So I was able to reach out to Brock, and his team was able to jump in and help with my showings, and they wrote on one, we ratified, so.
Yeah, that's teamwork, that's fantastic. That's right.
A big thank you to you. Our sit down meant more to me than you know.
Good,
We want to thank you.
good, thank you. I'm glad you were willing to have it. Yes, Dave.
Thanks to my boy Jared here. He was big help in the 7 deals I did in April, so I wouldn't have been able,
Great dad, I was bad.
wouldn't have been able to get out of
William, thank you for, being in between 2 states, everything keeps getting confused, and I was an S corp in Wisconsin. And I keep getting this, whether I should, that new form that we have to do now for an S corp in Pennsylvania every year now. It's confusing whether I should do it or not do it, and I reached out to Wayne, and he's giving me some more light, so that, it's just a muddy area, I don't know how else to say it other than it's muddy. Nobody seems to know, not even the government, so anyway. And then Ryan and Rachel, I was heading up Red Day, and my father was supposed to have open heart surgery on the end of April, and it got moved to May 7th. So I had to change my plans, and I couldn't be here for, they pulled it off, and nobody knew I was being here, so. It was awesome. It's awesome that could just be picked up and moved like it was, so
You set it all up. That's finalize the pieces, so it's awesome. That's gotta be a record. I love it. So one more, you got?
I wanted to show gratitude for Dave again, because 2 clients that recently signed on with me, I would never have met him if it wasn't for his open houses and listings.
Good, yeah, gotta take advantage of those open houses, especially when you're newer. That's freebie leads come to you, take advantage of it. Anybody else? That was great. I'm gonna start every month like that. Can we do that? Can we agree? Perfect.
The whole meeting?
The whole meeting? I'd say next, good?
Well, mine's for
You
you.
got a couple.
Mine's for you. I was working a deal, my team lead was the listing agent and I was representing the buyers. And that is always super weird. I've never done that with Dave before. And so I had questions that normally I would be asking Dave. Couldn't ask Dave, so I got to call Ryan and, Ryan helped me out with things. And so I appreciate you being around for that.
What's your other one?
Well, I was just saying, if we needed to fill up a whole meeting worth of gratitude, I'm sure we could
That'd
work
be
it
pretty
out.
cool.
That's all I'm saying.
That'd be great. We do have, I know
Lunch
people are gonna get really, really anxious when the food starts arriving, so then I will call you. Okay,
I had a listing down near BWI. And it was about 2 weeks before settlement and my client called them. They worked everything out. They even held their everything for a week. He also gave her options to save her money. So I am grateful because the other moving companies she spoke to were literally lying to her and charging her $1,000 more.
wow,
Oh, wow.
that's why we partner with people like Jared, so. Sounds like somebody's getting a gift card here. All right, let's keep the gratitude going and talk about our belief system. Guys start shouting them. Let's,
Explain
hey,
our deal.
can we stay in order? Please. Stay in order. Okay, hey, thank you, go ahead. Integrity, do the right thing.
Customers always come first.
Commitment in all things.
Communication, take words to understand.
Creativity, ideas before results.
Teamwork, together, everyone achieves more.
Trust starts with honesty.
Equity opportunities for all.
Success results through people.
We always get stuck at the last one. Thank you, guys. This is a little bit of a PR stuff, so, but, Julie is asking if anybody has, like, make sure your stuff's all up to date, so that way you're getting all the newsletters, the events. Because we are getting some things incorrect. I don't know how it gets messed up with the sheet, but we just want to make sure we have an accurate, roster there.
Can you go back?
Just don't bid.
Thank you.
Just don't lay out.
And then we talked a little bit about this, but again, Belinda, toilet paper, life pack, 150 rolls a day. Venmoer, if you don't have any, we did get some, thank you to whoever.
Yeah,
got
I'll
the
do
cost.
shopping if you got one.
Do the shopping.
Because we have this too, so.
Very good. All right, so Red Day, we talked a little bit about Red Day. You want to share, give a summary on what we talked about, but here's some photos from where we were, but go ahead.
So we were at 5 different places between Chambersburg, Petersburg, and here. And I won't read them all, but they're gonna be here for you if you want to read them. I'm gonna read the last sentence of each because it gives the heart of what was going on. For servants Sam and Rebecca, we stained a ramp for them because of disabled. He's a disabled veteran, and then she fell and broke her leg, so they needed to get into their home. Anyway, a ramp was built that needed to be stained. We were there, and this is what we got, a great big old nice thank you. But anyway, here's the last part of it. Together, we made sure Sam and Rebecca could once again move safely in and out of their home. But more than that, we reminded them and ourselves that community is what love looks like in action. That's what we did for them. Life Path Ministries. When these volunteers see you helping us, you give them hope because they know they've not been forgotten. And to me, that speaks more than anything, made my heart very warm for that. The toilet paper, like she said, now it's up to 150 a day of 100. So again, there's, my Venmo was up there. If you need it, I can give it to you before we go. I will do the shopping for you. We did, in Chambersburg, there was a family, Humanity for Life, a family that needed her housing quickly. And so we got to be part of that, putting up flooring and all. And Life Path Ministries, you can see Bob laying flooring there. Bob's not here today. It actually got completed. We didn't have enough flooring to finish a closet, I guess. Anyway, it got completed. They're so thankful that person's room that is in, it always gets forgotten because it's in the main building. So anyway, they're like, they were so appreciative that somebody cared. We did food banks, Hope Life Ministries. They have a mobile food pantry that goes all the way out to Pittsburgh. So that's amazing that the way you guys helped in the food that you did could help up from here all the way to Pittsburgh. So thank you, thank you, thank you. If you missed it, I still got opportunities. If you want to help.
Thank you. We had a dog growing up when I was back. Phil's dog's sick, so. Yeah, thank you guys. I heard from some of you, it was your first Red Day. John, you said you were sore. You were tired when you came back. So it's awesome that you guys got to experience the Keller Williams Red Day. I appreciate everyone's help. Also shout out to Herman. He went and helped out with the RAAC, and he did volunteer for Hands on Helpers Committee. See here? I don't see him, but it looks like they were staining decks and doing different things, very similar to the Red Day stuff. Greg, you want to stand up and twirl around? This is a plug for Garrison. So Garrison is, so he's like, whoever's doing our shirts, they're awesome, they're comfortable, they're very, very good quality. So if you want to purchase any of your own stuff, they can also do branded items. I know Brock's team got a bunch of their own branded team here. He can definitely do that too, if you guys want to run with that. There is a link at the bottom, and it's To The T Outfitters. It's okay.
Excuse me.
We'll get it handled. Happy birthday. I'd like to say the company, how's the health going with our office, how in comparison to the RAAC stats, and I'd say they're going very well. Last month, we brought on 13 new agents. I do want to celebrate that we were #2 in gross, #1 in net in the region. That's out of 46 offices. and we are sitting number 29 in the entire United States for growth. So that is awesome. Let's keep this. We're down 38, that was up from last, I guess it was what, April, yeah, April of last year. Volume was good, which also brought our average sales price at the bottom up to 280. Our listings taken, that's our future growth. That was 125. That's very healthy as well. We always talk about the listings sold volume as it's a little bit lower than we'd like. We like market share, we like signs in the yards, we can control the inventory, but right now we're about 40% of our sales are about listings. We want to raise that back up. We also wrote 148 contracts, and these are a little bit skewed. They're probably higher because it's all based on when you guys enter it in command. If there's things that you wrote and you haven't plugged it in, that number is very well higher. And then the best thing, and this is what I always love to see, is when we pay out to you guys commissions of $1 million, that means we're having a heck of a month. $1 million is a nice milestone number. That's a lot of money, a lot of checks. So, and that goes to you guys, that's commissions. But great job. And we want to celebrate after that who were our top producers every month. So in number 5, we have the Jared Gettle, Mike Firestone on the individuals. Jared Gettle took, I guess, take it back a little bit. The top 5 of individuals did over $1 million. Actually, the top 7, I couldn't even, I think Brady Wagner did $1 million, somebody else. We had a very, very good month from the individual side of things. So congratulations to them, Jeremy Tolley, Dave Monsor. Tolley, you want to grab your thing here? You guys got rounded out the top 5. Gettle, there you go. Number 4, well, you guys can cheat and look at the board if you want. Number 4, we got Nate Johnston, took number 4 in both spots. Brock Spillian team and Dave Monsor, you guys took the number 4 spots in the team category. Dave Pottle comes in with a big month of 1.2. Ashley Brown with 4 units. Neil took number 3 in both the categories for the team. We had number 2, Deb Steckler had a heck of a month. So 1.4 million with 2 units. That's a fantastic month. Jared Gettle again, 5 units. Then we had Lane Thrush team taking both number 2 spots for units and volume. And number 1 goes to Ashley Brehm at $1.6 million. And Dave Pottle hit a record best 7 units in a month. Liz Hamburger rounds out the Liz Hamburger team. Rounds out the number 1 spot for the team. So let's give these guys a round of applause. Can't remember exactly. I posted it on our Facebook page. I want to say it was like that board alone did 50 units and over $20 million, something like that. That's a lot. That's a lot of business in 1 month. Great job, guys. So we always talk, reminder, K-Score. If you know anybody that wants to get into real estate, use our K-Score program. We call it a free scholarship. It gives them a discount of about $450 to $500 to get the real estate license. We introduced the Keys program, headed by Greg and Julie, and they're going to be the ones that are running with a lot of the new agents. So if you're looking for maybe a boost in your business and or you have somebody new, get them over to us. We'll get them. And you have anything to add before I move on?
No, it's that they're engaged, and that's
the start, right?
Start,
You
yeah.
guys show up, be engaged. That's the start. Business will follow if you're putting the work into it. All right, what else do we got here? We want to welcome our new agents. So we had a bunch. You're gonna be like, well, you said we had 13. This is between we're month to month, but then this is between office meeting to office meeting. So who we're celebrating now, we have Jamie. Jamie is working with Larry over at Integrity First. She is going to be working alongside of him. It's a lady. Welcome officially. She came to our last office meeting. Loved us so much. You guys did a great job of creating a first impression she signed on. Corey Kane. Corey's going to be working a little bit with Tony on the commercial division. Sandra and Lily are actually sisters. They're coming over. They're out of the Hanover office, but working with Greg and Julie. And then Kelly Warner came up from North Carolina. She was already a Keller Williams agent, got her PA license, and she's officially onboarded now. So welcome to everybody that is new to Keller Williams. Little bit of reminder, it's Memorial Day already. It feels so quick. So we will not be open on Monday. What else we got? Joe is back on Tuesday after Memorial Day. So you want to come in, get back on track, started with MRA playbook. Part 5, I'm not sure what his content is yet. He's usually last minute, but it's always good. I know he Nicole, you've been in some of these.
He's really good.
Okay, good.
Show up.
Good.
Yeah, you'll get some
Any
good.
plugs for Joe? He's not here. Yeah.
He knows the best, like.
Yeah.
No. It's so secret.
He's okay. Now, if you can come in and listen to Joe talk, you should take advantage of it. Like, it's amazing to have him here in our office.
Because like he's a coach, that's what he does, but he gets you a little bit outside your comfort zone. And we're real estate agents. That's all where we live. We have to thrive in that. It's a good push. So definitely if you're looking for a little bit of a boost, I mean, he does it really from the basics, but purposeful tactics around it. So the event, okay, so these are all going to start being like our KWRI regional events. We have Quantum Leap, which is kind of like a jump start for anybody looking to get into real estate. We have Legal Essentials. If you have some standard legal questions, Q&A, we have a broker roundtable coming up in June. But this is a good way that there's attorneys on staff at these meetings. So if you have anything specific you want to go over, we provide that to you guys through, these are all Zoom. We have a commercial and investment conference. Tony, you going to that one? You said you were joking. So if you want to hang out with Tony, $25 tickets, that's May 29th. It looks like it's about half a day, so it's not too much. But maybe a good way if you're looking into the industrial commercial world, just to get a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Belinda hosts every month, usually the first Monday of the month. It's basically like a little bit of a mastermind. You get together, you talk about either specific things that are happening, or just questions in general. And it kind of what becomes more of like a collaboration. You guys.
Well, this time I've been asked to talk, how do we talk to people? We're gonna do some, maybe some, scripts, dialogues and, practice.
Good.
And maybe make up our own.
There you go. Wealth Building Wednesday, we have that once a month. That's Zoom. Again, this is a class too. The Wealth Building Wednesday has a different speaker every month. So if you're looking at different ways to build wealth, this is a great class. It's 1 hour, it's 2 o'clock, it's on Zoom, very easy, and you're bound to get something out of it that might be able to be implemented into your business that isn't just focused on always real estate buying and selling. There's a little networking event happening in Lancaster. I don't know much about that one. Looks like it's fun. Oh, so Cheryl's there too. And so that's local networking event, just kind of getting together with other great agents, other great vendors, other people that are involved in real estate. And we got command training with Jen and Julie. Are you looking to refresh? You have specific questions on command. That is June 10th, right here in this office. And it's crazy. I was like, can't we just get done with continuing ed? Well, they got it started up again. So we have appraisal continuing education, but it also gives you some 2 hours of PA law as well. So if you're interested in doing that, RAIC is holding that in the RAIC classroom. And then Joe's back again, Tuesday, June 17th. Our next office meetings is June 18th. We just came up with this in ALC. So we were looking at what do we want to do for our cultural event in the summer, being that we know July is very slow in the sense of like everyone's busy, vacations, kids stuff. So what's your guys' thought? I want your opinion, but after this, we do like a nice cookout gathering. We have to invite some of our vendors over, hang out, mingle, keep it like kind of low key, but at the same time fun. And we just kind of hang out afterwards. Is that good? Cookout, burgers, dogs, sausage. Yeah. Little cookout, summer cookout. Maddie already said, I hope it doesn't rain. So now you got me all stressed out. Now we'll figure that out. We've done it in the past. So June should be good. So we'll do that right after the office meeting and have a good lunch afterwards. All right, this is our vendors. We want to thank them. Roxanne already kind of talked about you relax. This is your time. Who's getting the gift cards?
Who's getting the gift cards? Thank everybody in the room. If you send URelax movie to customers, we greatly appreciate it, honestly. I want to give back to everybody, so that's the purpose of me continuing to do this every month. I am very grateful for your trust with your clients. So let me get my little cheat sheet out here. It's actually kind of long this month, which is great. The more we can add, the more I give out. Obviously Roxanne, who mentioned me earlier, I appreciate that very much. You would like to have some coffee or some food from the White Rose? Bob Myers, who is not here, we're actually doing his personal move for him, I believe on Friday.
Maybe that's what he was getting ready for, he said he's there.
Mr. Pottle. Appreciate you. You want coffee?
Your food this time.
White Rose.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Mr. Jordan. Got a referral from you.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
oh, it's based on, so it's not completed yet,
It's
but
not completed.
coming
We got
next week.
deposits. So yeah, I'm willing to just,
Cool, I'll take White Rose, brother.
White Rose.
Thanks, man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you. I didn't see Phil. Is he here?
His dog's here.
No.
Give it to his mom. Give it to his mom.
I'll give it to you though. You know what it was?
You don't
They'll
have to
want
know.
coffee.
Nicole. You as well.
Hey, coffee.
Copy?
Thank you.
You would think you would take White Rose?
Got Kate. No,
The coffee, yeah. I know my boy.
Can't remember the name. The week in June. Yeah, William? What, Steve? Steve Williams? Your name is on it. So.
You're actually, you know, for your name.
Mr. Adrian Young. Appreciate you. I got that on.
I'll take some food.
Good White Rose.
Adrian, did you ever know of Jared before this, before you came over?
No.
What we do. Thank everybody. Appreciate everybody. For sending your,
Awesome.
trusting us with your clients.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, Jared. Let's give him a round. Hey, next up, we got Hometown giving us some good information here. Did you see today? So, Kathy. You anything for it?
All my stuff done. So today, first of all, I want to tell, I was telling Tony earlier, I read it to him. For all of you that don't know, we do commercial clothing. Just want to put that out there because I forgot last month. So, but today, the little topic we're going to do is enhanced standard policy versus enhanced policy. I went to a Con Ed seminar just a couple weeks ago, and the underwriter was telling us that safe block, whatever they're called, whatever life block, that wants to do the deed, they keep telling me about the deed being stolen and they're gonna sell, people are gonna sell your property out from under you. They're selling our enhanced policy for us, and I don't know if you know that, because the enhanced policy does cover that. So if somebody tries to steal somebody's deed and transfer their property and you don't even know it, that enhanced policy will cover that. So that is a big plug for that. They want us to start just selling the enhanced policy. If your customer doesn't want the enhanced policy, have them sign a waiver saying that. The way it was explained to me was, reason being, if we're not offering that to the customer and something like that happens, they can come back on us and say, you never told me that was an option. So I have not discussed that part with Brooke or Dana to see if that's the route we're gonna go. But when you're being, that form that I send and it says that they want an enhanced policy or a standard policy, please make sure they know. And if they don't, you don't know, they can call me and I have a brochure I can send them, email them. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna do it, right? So I'm gonna ask her to be so kind as to send that brochure to all of you, just showing the differences. Yes?
It's actually in the documents,
Oh, is it?
under, in command,
Okay,
under office documents.
okay.
You had sent it to me and then I
I
actually
did.
noticed it in
Okay.
the documents.
So it does, so the quickest way to explain it is standard policy covers up to the day of closing and 60 years past. Enhanced policy covers all of that plus things in the future. It does cost a little bit more, but for me, an extra $400 or whatever it is, $300. I don't want somebody stealing my deed. I don't want somebody selling my house without me knowing and being part of that. And there's a lot of other things. It covers like if your neighbors build a shed and it's on your property line. You can come back on that enhanced policy and we help take care of that. But there's a lot of other things. So I'm not, I mean, I won't bore you with them. I'll send it out. If you have questions on it, please call me, email me, text me, whatever, because it really is the best way for them to go for the little bit about, I know Nicole does encourage her customers to go that path, but it is entirely up to them, but we want to make sure that they're aware of that option availability to them. So, anybody have any questions on that? I'm not gonna bore you
Can you
with.
just go over the time difference you said about the standard and the enhanced?
So when we do our calendar, we always do a 60-year term, so in the past 60 years. So the standard policy covered anything to the day of closing from day of closing back 60 years. The enhanced policy covered all of that, plus some things for the future. So, and I had somebody ask me one time, well, what do you mean in the future? So you're telling me it ends the day that they buy it? No. So if they go back and they find an error in the past, that's still covered under your standard policy. But there's other things that are covered, and it's theirs as long as they own the home. If somebody passes and it's inherited by a family member, that policy is still in effect. And the enhanced policy remains in effect even after they sell their home and somebody finds something and tried to come back on them, that enhanced policy still takes care of it. Just so you know that. The other thing we decided to do, because we don't do that, anybody that sends us anything in April, or the buyer side, you have a gift card for you. And I will let you pick it.
Better get on.
Ted Berkheimer.
Anyways, where is she?
Was she with this, do they have to be present?
No, they didn't tell me that.
Yes.
They didn't tell me that you want to make that a rule, that was all. Yes, there you go. It's all on- it's all up. You're gonna get it. Now, Deb Berkheimer, winner this month, so. Next month, we're gonna continue doing this, so next month will be the same thing, so if you send us a buyer, we're gonna put your name, and it's for every time you send one, it's not just one time. So if you send us 3, you get 3 times, your chances, so. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. It's Harkins' show now. There he is. Here he comes. What do you got for us, Andrew?
Well. This one here. So we get a lot of what I call rescue deals from people. And in most cases, they're declines from other lenders, things that could have kind of been prevented right out the gate. I'm just gonna go through like a couple things you can do to kind of get ahead of things, like what kills deals, how you can avoid it. Because I feel like anything we can do to make life easier is obviously a pro. So number one, self-employed borrowers. One of the biggest reasons self-employed deals fall apart, and it's in my opinion, is number one is nobody reviews tax returns up front. Either the loan officer doesn't know how to qualify looking at tax returns, or maybe they don't have the resources to talk to someone in underwriting to get deals looked at. Buyer says they make $150,000. LO issues the pre-approval without checking, takes them at face value. And you show homes, offers accepted, and underwriting kills it, right? So self-employed income is generally based on net profit, but there's certain line items that you can kind of add back in. They don't look at gross deposits. Most self-employed folks write off everything they can, so they don't have to pay a lot in taxes, right? Like that's kind of the game, to try to keep your money, right? So, you know, this is something, you know, there's some alternative loan types that are out there when people don't claim a lot on taxes, stuff that borrowers can look at. But I would say like a lot of times you're getting pre-approvals from lenders that you don't have relationships, like that's the questions, right? Like hey, have you provided tax returns to the lender? Ask the lender, hey, have you guys had the tax returns reviewed by underwriter? Or have you reviewed the tax returns and done income calculations? You know, some high level stuff with underwriting, conventional loans, when you have a 10% decline, they ask questions. Immediately, they're starting to ask why the decline. At 20%, they don't document it, right? Flip over to FHA, if you're a 20% decline from 2023 to your 2024 taxes, FHA won't do your loan, like they'll straight up deny you. That's how FHA literally looks at income. So there's kind of a hard stop in certain things that can be avoided. I would say like the key takeaway here, again, just your communication level with the loan officer, especially if it's somebody you guys don't know, right? Especially if it's somebody you don't know. Number two, mystery money, what we call risky funds, funds that you haven't documented, right? Cash deposits, Venmos, or sudden transfers. And, you know, trigger underwriting to look at additional things. There's some things with Venmo nowadays where like you can have additional debt through Venmo accounts that is not disclosed on a credit report. So you could just be transferring, I mean, how many of you guys transfer money in here for house showings, right? Like all the time, right? Like that's the way it's done. But you could just be transferring money for, you know, pizza and do $350 outgoing transactions in a month. And then all of a sudden they want your Venmo statement and they see your Venmo statement, you have $300 going to pay for something that you bought that doesn't report to credit. So like, this is something I always tell people, like the moving and the movement of money is just something that, you know, probably to be aware of. 95% of underwriting decisions nowadays are made through automated underwriting. Desktop underwriter, loan prospector, these are the things that they use. FHA uses desktop underwriter. Basically, you have someone there just saying, okay, we're looking at the bank statement. Yes, this is the correct balance. Okay, there's no erroneous deposits. We got a source. You're good. Like they're not actually sitting there and saying, I think we should give this person a loan. Like the decision's already made for them. They just got to verify information, right? So understand, you know, this is a big one. This is a secondary big one. Everybody knows gift funds are permissible in real estate transactions, but what happens is you have a low credit score borrower, maybe they're 630 credit score, using an FHA loan. A lot of times, if you have that kind of buyer profile, we have verified that they have their own money, but then they switch and now they're using gift money and all their money was spent on something. Sometimes that deal can become non-approvable because gift funds through automated underwriting are looked at as a higher risk factor than someone legitimately saving their own money, right? So I always say like, that's something like if you hear something about, oh, hey, maybe we're just gonna do a gift on this one, like check with the loan officer, especially if you know the profile of that consumer is rougher. It's especially problematic with lower scores. Buyers, I will tell you, you know, because you're showing them a lot of real estate, a lot of times they're gonna say stuff to you that they wouldn't normally say to us. So if you hear things like, oh, we're gonna do this deposit this way, or you know, we're gonna go get you know, a money order for the deposit or something like that with cash, like red flag should be going off. You should be calling that lender to like have a conversation, not make it a big deal to the customer, but just talk with her. A lot of times it's a non-issue. Somebody may have a ton of money in an account and it's kind of a moot point, but it's better to know upfront, especially if they're communicating with you and you just don't think it's an issue. Number three, we do a mortgage do's and don'ts checklist for everybody. If you don't have something like this implemented in your process, like of when you're signing a buyer agency agreement or when you take somebody to contract, I feel like on some level we form everybody to death throughout the industry. It doesn't matter if it's lending or if it's real estate, but if you can do a do's and don'ts and implement it in your process, what I've found is if you keep it simple, it gets read and then people ask questions and it saves deals. I guarantee if you implement it, it will save at least 3 people deals in here this year if you implement it, right? So many buyers will make innocent mistakes, common mistakes like new credit, job changes, large deposits from cash, using money from a safe, things like that, and having them sign something real quick. Just kind of, it gets them to think, it gets them to think about things, especially again, if it's them working with some lender that you don't have a relationship with and you don't know their process and that they're going to kind of touch on these things. I went ahead and drafted up a mortgage do's and don'ts that you guys can use. You can literally go on ChatGPT and just be like, hey, can you draft me up a buying process do's and don'ts for consumers? And it'll spit you out something. I drafted one up real quick through ChatGPT that you have. We have like a branded one that we use, but you're welcome to just take this, use it. I'll give it to you guys, but I feel like this stuff will kind of help you save some deals throughout the process. If you don't have something like this implemented now, we do this on every transaction where for the people that we make them sign it, like add application. And I can't tell you how many times we get questions of like, hey, can I ask you about this? Hey, can I ask you about that? Like, especially with job changes, I get calls all the time where it's like, well, we were gonna change jobs. I didn't know that was an issue. Can we talk through the logistics of that? And we talk them through it so it doesn't happen when the process of buying. So key takeaways here, just educate buyers early to avoid preventable issues. I would say most deal killers are 100% preventable with upfront communication. If something sounds off, reach out to the lender early. We just want to help protect your time. I mean, that's really the gist of it, is like, you don't want to be out there showing houses to people like that don't qualify or do something stupid. It's just a couple extra steps to watch smarter. Any questions about self-employed or anything?
Personal question.
Yeah.
Looking for buy investment properties / like company to live in like the next year. Am I stuck at the job that I'm working at because I also want to change the job?
So likely yes, but it depends. Every situation is a little different. There's bank statement loans that you can use, but you gotta have larger down payments with them and stuff like that. If you're looking something that you're gonna like own or occupy and maybe rent one of the units, like a house hack or something like that, you could buy it as a primary residence, but I would probably stick out the job because you will need 2 years of self-employment to kind of get rid. You know what I mean? Not knowing the particulars on like your current job and all that, it's kind of hard to answer it with specifics, but generally speaking.
Are you seeing offers come across your desk where agents are writing, they're waiving the mortgage contingency, but taking mortgage?
I just got.
We did a deal with.
Oh,
Simon.
No, Lancaster is not fixed on one house where they did it. And all six,
Do you have letters with them, like approval letters still, or?
and all six were offering $25,000 EMDs.
Yeah, I just had that in that farmhouse.
I think you want the surety on that counter back and be like, make the deposit non-refundable.
Well, it is. I mean, they waived every contingency.
No,
appraisal
Not let them
contingency.
out regardless of the reason, inspection, whatever. Yeah.
They're waiving inspections, yeah. So
Yeah,
they literally had no contingency.
we were seeing that a lot.
It was a first for me, so I was wondering if we're seeing it. Because the lady said, oh, it didn't make it to your side of the river yet.
It's kind of normal. Like the market's hotter though, you know what I mean? Like it's just hotter than ours. Like, the market's hot, but it's not that hot.
But you saw Ryan on a listing?
Yeah, that farmhouse I purchased with my neighbors, we had 7 offers. I had 3 of them just like that, and then the one we took, they never even seen it, they're coming from Texas. They were 80 grand over list, but they didn't have, so the thing was that they didn't have a gap coverage, and he's like, well, we waived mortgage.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I think we want to add that extra layer, and I said, is there a number? He's like, whatever it appraises for, we're paying you 580, which was the price. So I was like, for clarity, if it appraises for 450,
Right.
you're still coming up, and said, yep. I was like, oh my God, or they walk away and they had 20 grand.
I had that same exact conversation, 6 different agents.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's great, just how to deal with. They didn't close this down.
Showing the proof of funds they can buy without.
But they're still getting a mortgage, they're just not. Contingency like.
If they don't get the commitment or the mortgage falls, we get a deposit of.
We get $20,000.
So like 20, yeah, but they got 23 grand. And then we have to set an offer. That's still out there, that's willing to.
I just think it's risky.
It's risky for a buyer, yeah, that's a hard conversation to navigate.
Yeah, Greg, I had that happen, last year. I sold a mobile on some land and Sam Stein did that and he waived a mortgage. And it came down the night before, there was an issue, but luckily I'd helped those people buy the house. So I had the document he needed. But he almost got screwed. He almost, cause he backed the deal. He said, if anything happens, I'll buy it. So.
The whole state.
Still,
Yeah.
Still crazy times.
Cool, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andrew.
Thank you.
All right, got the lady of the hour. Looks like all your slides are in.
Okay. Awesome.
So let's welcome Lindsay. So you can just kind of like right here and just click it. Thank you.
All right, everybody, how you doing?
Great.
Great.
Sorry about that. Awesome, my name's Lindsay Messer-Pasego. For anybody that doesn't know me, I help you focus on client retention, which is a big deal in the industry. Some of you, like I said, some of you know me, so you might have noticed, or maybe you didn't, but whatever, but we are expanding the Pacheco team. And whenever you have to expand your team, some of you have done that, you have to put systems in place, right? So I'm doing October, we're putting systems in place for childcare. We're putting a whole diaper system in place. You gotta have a good diaper system for kids. And what I'm here to help you do is put a system in place for keeping in touch with your past clients. And I'll throw out a couple stats. I did want to focus on this. First of all, my slide says relationships are the glue that holds your business together. Has anyone noticed that it's easier and more profitable to work with people that already know and trust you? Okay. And of course, we want to go get new customers all the time, but holding on to and retaining the clients who already know and trust you is a really big deal. So let's see if you guys know these numbers. Is this straight from the NAR website? If you'd heard me speak before, you might know these stats. What's the percentage of buyers that say they love their agent, they would use them again, and they would refer them? Does anyone want to guess the percentage?
85.
Very close. It's basically 85, 87, okay? Great, good job. So like 90% of people almost just give their realtor 5 stars, right? You guys are doing a great job. What's the percentage of people that actually use the same agent the second time around?
23.
Close?
25. 50 sold, fine.
No, I haven't.
Thank you. Did you do bold? What?
A while ago.
Okay, so for a while they were teaching in bold that it was 23. Right now it says on the NAR website that it's less than 12. And I was at a KW meeting yesterday and the TL had a slide that said it was 8, right? So the point is, there's a big gap between people who are super happy with their service, enough to say they would refer, and the people that actually go back and use the agent again. What's the gap there? What's the difference? It's that less than 10% of people can name their agent 2 years after the transaction. Literally, just people are super duper forgetful. And if you don't know, I'm going to talk about Cutco in a moment. We sell Cutco at all different places. Like I've been at the Philadelphia Flower Show. There's like 190,000 people that come through. And I'll just tell a quick story to emphasize this point, how forgetful people are. There was a couple that came by and said they had moved to Philadelphia recently, and I said, "Oh, who's your real estate agent?" They stood in front of me and they argued for about 10 minutes about whether their realtor was a man or a woman. Like one thought it was one and one thought it was the other. Like they had no idea who their realtor was, right? And so when we work with people's forgetfulness and we think, how could we be in touch with people? We want to put systems in place because you can only reach out and like personally talk to them or touch them so many times. And so we just said, well, what if something that you're already spending money on, like your closing gifts, could help with that, right? And who's ever brought a gift to settlement before? Most people, right? And when I look at what agents bring to the table, there's a lot of the same things out there, like a gift card, a bottle of wine, a gift basket. Maybe you've done something more creative, like personalized to the client, or maybe you do a little sign. I've seen a lot of different, but most of the gifts are consumable. So I want to be clear, I'm not here to say that people don't like literally whatever you bring them. They should appreciate any gift, right? It's free. The thing is, what we're looking at is if it's consumable, it doesn't do anything to help those earlier statistics, and it could if it lasted, right? So is there anybody in the room that owns Cutco knives or already uses our gift program? Awesome. Kathy in the back, I heard your story. Do you mind saying like how long ago you got your set?
I have to tell people how old I really am.
You got it when you were 6.
10.
Yeah.
I met them today.
That's awesome.
A lot of years ago.
That's awesome. And Ryan, you had yours for what, 2 or 3 years now?
Yeah, somebody stole my paring knife. You know, it's that. Yeah, I used you, I think Christmas, I was 2018, we were at a bowl.
Yeah.
Joe and I ended up getting a bunch of stuff for our clients. Even I think there's water thermoses and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were great. They were big head and I got a whole set for myself.
Awesome. Awesome. Almost every room that I'm in, somebody has had a Cutco set for like 10 years. And guys, that's kind of the point with Cutco is it literally lasts forever and people hand it down through generations. So if we just put some little bit of engraving on it, and by the way, the engraving can be whatever you want. So a lot of people do logo, name and number. I'll touch on that in a minute. But a lot of people do the client's name and a lot of people do a combination of both. You can do whatever you want, but if you put the logo, name and number on it, there's a benefit to that in addition to top of mind awareness that I'll talk about in a moment. And if you haven't heard of Cutco, we've been on the History Channel. We're made in America. Everything's made in Olean, New York. They did a Modern Marvels special on us recently. We're actually the chosen gift for about 40 professional sports teams right now. So like the sports teams owners will give Cutco to the people who own like the box seats and the season tickets and stuff like that. Simply putting a logo on takes something that you're already spending money on and it creates a top of mind, it makes it into a top of mind awareness tool. The other thing I like is referrals, because the people said they want to refer you, right? But then they just don't know how to bring up the conversation or whatever. What's the most trafficked room in the house? It's the kitchen, right? That's where people hang out. So I hear from a lot of agents. I've been doing this since I've been with Cutco for 25 years, but I've been doing specifically gifts since 2009. I hear from a lot of agents that they get referrals like immediately after the transaction, again, because you did a good job, but there's not a system in place for the next 5 to 7 years and to continue to get referrals, right? If something is in their kitchen products are one of the only things that they're going to use for the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. How many touches can you get out of one item, right? And there is lots of ways to give Cutco. You can put it together with something else. So you see a lot of pictures here of it, a standalone item or putting it together in a basket or with a pie or something like that. I do want to touch real quick on the other benefit of the engraving. Does anybody know what the IRS normally lets you write off for a closing gift?
100%.
Close, not close. Some people do write off 100%, right? What are you actually allowed to write off? Anybody know? $25 per person per closing, right? Yeah, so I hear some surprise in the room, right? By the way, if they audit you, I got audited in 2008 and I asked them, if you audit an agent, what's the first 2 things to check? And he said closing gifts and the home office, right? Because those are the things where people make the most mistakes on. You're only allowed to write off $25 and most agents are spending more like $100 to $250 depending on the price of the house, right? So that's kind of stinks, that percentage. Well, if you engrave it, it counts as marketing or advertising. So you can write off the entire amounts. Ding, 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 right? And so that's a really smart way to do it. But I think the thing that we can save you the most time on and the benefit that I can provide to you the most is creating a system. Having a system in place so that you're not the one running around the night before the day of the closing trying to remember, do they drink? Can I buy them alcohol? I have some crazy stories about buying the wrong person alcohol, right? What's their favorite flavor? What's their favorite sports teams? We've all stood in line at the liquor store or TJ Maxx trying to put a basket together the last minute, and the gift ends up not being all that thoughtful anyway. What we do with Cutco, and by the way, I'll just show, I have a bunch of examples over in the lunchroom as well, but what we do with Cutco is most people will get like a year, maybe a half a year's supply. Our catalog goes from $65 on up. Most people spend in the same range that I find you guys spend on other stuff. Like our most popular sets are between the $100 and $250 value. You can spend the same amount of money, get the full tax write-off, and get something that they'll look at for the next 30 years and their friends and family will see. It's kind of a no-brainer. So the system is we pick out what would work for you. Everybody's business is a little bit different, your price point, your volume. You get a year, maybe a half a year supply. So it gets you in on our volume discounts and you don't have to pay for whatever you order, small or big. You don't have to pay for it up front. We can split your order over the course of the year with no interest, but we still ship it to you all in one box. Or if you're like a loan officer or someone who has a lot of closings to go to and you can't go to every single one, we can ship it directly to them for a couple extra bucks, put a letter inside there so they know exactly who it came from, and make it really effective that way. So you can ship it out directly to them, right? But the idea is the more you order, the better price you get. I want to highlight a couple things. Ryan mentioned that when he originally ordered, one of the things he focused on was some of our outdoor pieces. So this wouldn't be a gift for everybody, but as soon as I show this, everybody thinks like, oh, I do have one client that would be amazing for. This is our fisherman's tool. It's a 6-inch blade, it extends to 9 inches. It's super flexible like this. And it comes with a holster that can hold the fish. So while you're like removing the hook, you have something to clamp it with. You can sharpen your hooks on the back. We also make K-bar knives. Anybody know what K-bar is? It's what the Marines get when they enlist, right? So we bought K-bar in '93. We've been making them ever since. Again, not the right gift for everybody, but what Ryan decided was he had a couple of clients that this would be awesome for us. We got a handful of these. And when they gave these, it was great, right? Hunting knives, just some other outdoor stuff like that. So as you can see, I personalize completely to who your demographic of clients is, your price point, everything that you might need. And we get you a personal quote. I want to do 2 special things today. One was, okay, I have my red paring knife giveaway. Do you do the drawing or do I do the drawing? It's cool
You
if you
could do it, don't that.
Yeah?
Out of the-
Out of there. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna give away a red Cutco paring knife, red for Keller Williams. Everybody loves our paring knives. Great, very sharp, last you forever. And then the second thing I want to do is give you guys an incentive to help me sharpen up your gifting program with you today. Okay, so do you mind if I use this? This is your interest form. It just tells me that you want to know a little bit about pricing and talk a little bit further. You fill out a little bit of info about your business. So that'll help me give you a quote that's personalized to you. And then you can see at the bottom, the specials that we're gonna do today. The more you order, the better your deal is. So you'll get, if you order today, you'll get these volume pricings. And you'll also get a reduced engraving that's worked into the pricing that I'll give you. And then in addition, up at the top, it says, bring this sheet to the table and receive blank and free Cutco. Write the word ice cream scoop. In the summer, I like to give away a free ice cream scoop with your order. Our ice cream scoop melts ice cream as you go and it doesn't rust and it can go in the dishwasher and you love your ice cream scoop, yes. Okay, so for anyone who orders today, you'll get the volume discounts, you'll get the engraving discounts, and I will personally buy you an ice cream scoop to go on your order for you so that you have something fun. You take care of your clients, I'll take care of you. Whatever happens today, just remember today is the day you met the sharpest girl you know. And I will be over in the lunchroom. So just to be clear, you want to fill this out and bring it to me. And then I'll walk through individually each one of you or whatever you want to order. If I'm talking to somebody when you get there, just make sure I get the paper and then I'll get to you by the end of the day. Did you have a question?
Yeah, first of all, I love the ideas,
Thanks.
but what's your opinion on what independent agents usually put on for the engravings? Because I feel like if I just slap my first and last name on there, like I'm kind of fooling myself.
Yeah, so I will talk with each one of you about what you want your engraving to be. Some people want to turn the Cutco into a high-end classy business card and it's logo, name, number, and that's it. Other people want to put congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, and make it like all about the client. So I want to be clear that we can do either one. A lot of my samples are going to show the logo because of the tax deductibility, but we can do either one or we can do both, made especially for John and Cindy, compliments of your name, right? So I think more important than my opinion is yours. What you want to do and what you want to communicate with your clients is what we will engrave on it. Yeah. So I did promise I'd be brief. Do you want to share real quick and then?
On ice cream scoops, I put with gratitude.
Yeah.
And then my name and phone number.
Yeah. I like that a lot because it's classy and it has your contact information. So we can do a combo and kind of hit the best of both worlds there. I did promise I'd be brief, so we'll do the drawing and then you guys can, am I the last one, right? Over to lunch. So you guys can go over to E and bring the papers and just drop that off with me. PS, even if you know you can't order today or you don't have a closing like right away, but you just want to keep in touch with me, you can give me the paper and I'll put you in my database and keep in touch. But for everyone who orders, you'll get those 3 benefits. All right, red paring knife. Here we go. Who wants it, by the way? I know. Here's that right? It's all right, ready? If your name starts with a B, you didn't win. If your name starts with a D, stand up. How many Ds do we have?
First name?
Nobody?
I'm looking at the person.
Your name start with a D.
I did, dog, or.
A.
Oh.
If your name is Dana. You didn't touch your card. You don't want it? It's not in. All right. You're up.
Alright, we're gonna draw, oh my God. Alright, so for the rest of the drawing, we have transaction fee, monthly, Yeti bag, playbook, and then this is a set, the Yeti, prints. Let's do it.
Ashley.
Dude, I'm on a roll.
Okay. Let me write that down. Go ahead and forget. Yeah, what'd you win last?
I got the MRA playbook last month. Madison.
Maddie.
Kellenberger.
You want me to go over to Yeti French press playbook or the Yeti bag? The bag? Alright. Mike, you end up picking that up. They're like Jackson. Jackson. Oh, yeah. He is here. Alright, playbook, Yeti or the monthly?
I'll do the Yeti.
You want the Yeti? Uh-oh, everyone's gonna be attacking you after this.
It's actually.
And it's like. Hey, okay.
The best. Cause all you need to do is.
Kayla.
I'll just grab something.
Monthly or playbook? All right, last one's playbook.
You can bring it?
It has a lot of pictures too.
So, hey guys, thank you so much. Remember June 18th, we're gonna do a cookout afterwards, but we got food in the back. Have a great day.
Thanks, John.
Yes.
I'll try to make it. What they want, but there's only. But